Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Funday. That wasn't very fun. As you can see, we saw the just critical darling Happytime murders. Yeah, to put it lightly, this movie is getting terrible reviews. It's up there with Sausage Party in terms of being considered, just hated and derided by the critics. But if y'all recall, we actually liked Sausage Party.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was legitimately funny. It seemed like it had some interesting jokes. There was a plot, actually, that was strangely enough.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the plot is something that, if you kind of think about it, like, yeah, that is kind of weird. And also, it puts the whole sentient fruit, like Veggie Tales and all that, kind of on blast. Like, hey, so, what about kids who are eating all these?
It also was inventive.
Yeah, it did some unique things. I mean, sure, there was the, food orgy scene at the end.
It
But
was like, oh my god.
I still think that was unique in just some of the ways and how they did certain things.
Yeah.
Happytime Murders, from all we have seen from the
They're
trailers,
just trying to ride Sausage Party's coattails, really.
yeah, it's all we've seen. And we went and saw it. And yeah, does it ride those coattails hard?
Like, please let me in.
It's like, I'm totally as funny as Sausage Party. Where I think the first issue is with this movie.
As y'all can tell, we didn't much care for this movie.
I'm going to go ahead and lead it off for a change. One of the issues I quickly noticed is that puppets don't make for a good noir film. This does want to try and be a noir as well as be a puppet film. Because of that, this is so drastically just... It's a clash, like I was describing it earlier, as a cabbage and chocolate shake. It, as disgusting as it sounds, and it does nothing for you good. And I get they were trying to go for an adult theme, but it seemed like their adult theme was curse words, drug usage, and...
Sex jokes.
Yeah. And not very inventive sex jokes at that.
Yeah.
Like, those who've seen the Red Band trailer, the part where the main cop, his name is Phil. Real quick to explain the plot of this movie. Phil and Melissa McCarthy Edwards, they call her own by her last name. I don't remember them ever giving her a first name.
Connie.
Okay, Connie. I don't even remember them saying it.
Said at the beginning of the movie, but...
Yeah, just zoom, never said it again. But yeah, they are investigating the murder of different puppets and people related...
all connected to this TV show.
Yeah, called Happytime
Game
or something. Yeah. It's weird. I at first was thinking, okay, maybe this movie might go for something, because at the very beginning it kind of shows puppets being treated as secondary citizens.
Yeah.
Alright, that almost could have been something.
Yeah, I think it's like trying to go for like a little bit of substance, a little bit of... I really don't know what it was trying to go for.
Yeah, I think it was trying to go for this, hey, look, puppets are, really being mistreated thing, that it dropped less than even a third of the way through the movie.
They picked it up a couple times.
Yeah, but
puppets are so dumb.
Yeah, or, oh, puppet, you're just one of them. But
yeah.
It always felt infrequent. It felt like this was written by committee. Like, the entire script of this was written by different people. One person wanted to write a super serious noir film involving puppets for some godful fucking reason.
Yeah, it's like they just all, like, threw spitballs at the board and hoped it would stick.
Yeah.
Or one of those, like, oh, no idea is too dumb. All ideas will be accepted, no matter what.
Yeah, they
And
were.
yeah, just put it into a blender and just that story just hanging on there by a thread. Just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just
And like I said, the idea of like puppets being treated as secondary people, not being treated the same, that could have went somewhere. Hell, that actually could have almost been
a
yeah,
social commentary.
yeah, it could have been really good social commentary that would have paralleled anything that people saw in Get Out or anything else. There's a lot of really funny stuff they could have done with that, and they did dick with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then the rest of the movie spends the time sexualizing these puppets.
Yeah, if you
Because
are...
they're for adults. They're adult puppets.
Yeah, totally. And they rip off, of course, scenes from Basic Instinct. You name a movie, they've probably ripped it off in some way or another.
I was like, there's so many times like, oh yeah, they're like, trying to make fun of, how movies do this one thing or how the story goes in this one movie or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's like so many like little rip-offs, like...
Yeah, and notice, we say rip-offs, not homages.
Or parodies.
Yeah,
it's... I think it's what they were trying to go for, just kind of stumbled and fell flat on their face right out of the gate.
Yeah, it would have been one thing if, like... It's not that the Basic Instinct thing doesn't make sense inside of an adult puppet movie. It's just that when they try to go for that, it always still felt juvenile. It's weird to describe it that way. It felt like this was written by a 12-year-old at times. It's ooh, imagine if you saw a puppet's bush. Thanks.
Later supposed to be a vital clue to solving who the killer is.
Man, that's the other thing. This is a shitty mystery.
Yeah.
There's so many movies out there that they're built on comedy first, mystery second, but there still at least a decent mystery. Decent something. This is not one of them.
Trying to be a comedy that just like it's pushes story more. It's like, okay, well, let's have a good story and then build the jokes around that. It's like,
and constantly they're trying to get serious and points, and it's like, wow, that doesn't really set well. That doesn't fit.
Yeah, they couldn't decide what they wanted to do or what they wanted to be.
Yeah, again, this is a movie that has...
I want to be a cowboy astronaut when I grow up. It's pretty much what this movie is.
No, they wanted to be a cowboy astronaut stripper because that's what Mommy is. It's so tonally all over the place. We'll shift from, just...
And we thought the tone was a little off in BlacKkKlansman.
Yeah, BlacKkKlansman. And this makes that tone seem like it makes perfect sense. This, like, we have scenes where it's supposed to be, really goofy and like, oh, it's a stripper stripping for puppets, and it's...
For rabbit puppets.
Yeah. I will say it almost got a chuckle out of me. That was the one scene I almost chuckled at. Like, okay, that's kind of funny. Just because of how the rabbits were actually doing, just made me kind of laugh. Or almost made me laugh. I was just kind of like smiling at best. And then we shift in this super serious tone about this puppet and this one lady who had a relationship. Never mind how the hell that even works. And, thanks, movie. I just needed to steer right into that. Sausage Party took its brutal nature, its brutal jokes, about food screaming and dying, and it played with it. It still made that funny. Here, the serious scenes are not funny. They're just serious. So, when something brutal happens, it's kind of, okay, well, that was extreme.
Yeah, they pretty much try to push the puppets are just like people, but just made of felt, warm and fuzzy inside or something. And
there's points where that also doesn't make sense in the universe. Like, puppets can push around people, they can be just as strong as people, I guess. Though they're easily able to be picked up and all this fun shit. Like, their big nemesis is dogs. that will tear them
Yeah, I
apart.
use them as a chew toy.
Yeah, and like even one puppet gets torn apart by his dogs. It's like, oh wait. If he has the strength of a normal human guy, he would be able to easily just pick up the dog and throw it off his balcony and die. Dead dog. Who cares? Uh, Again, this is where movies like own world doesn't make sense. At least with Sausage Party. I hate to keep comparing it, but it really wants to ride that Sausage Party coattails. Sausage Party, at least it took its world and it made it make sense, strange enough. I don't know why it did that, it just wanted to. At least it was also tonally all the same.
Yeah, it's all really goofy.
Yeah. Like I said, this movie just can't say what it wants, and also its world, in terms of how things work and interact together, doesn't make sense. I just don't get it. Uh,
I don't get it either.
yeah,
Because they made such a big deal about the fact that, like, oh, all these puppets are, getting killed, and nobody cares except for Phil, who's a puppet, and it's like making it out to be really serious business, but then trying to insert all these jokes, especially between him and
Melissa McCarthy.
Like them just like, you're a dick. It's like, oh, no, you're a dick, and like, just calling each other asshole back and forth, and
Yeah, and that's another thing. Melissa McCarthy is terrible in this. If she's not screaming every line she's saying, she's just randomly cursing for the hell of it. I know I'm not always above cursing because I like fucking saying fuck. But dear God, it reeks of the same juvenileness that plagued Mile 22's script, where we just had so many juvenile sounding characters because they can't figure out a more eloquent way of saying things. Or more importantly, they only have two modes, asshole and cursing. And it gets old. It gets really fucking old real quickly.
kind of like we turn a 12-year-old loose, and it's like, okay, say whatever and however many swear words you want,
Just go at it, have fun.
it's like, go ahead and go for that R rating movie.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't have to go for all the swearing to go for the R rating. All the damn sex jokes and, drug use.
Yeah, sugar.
Yeah.
Especially puppets get off on sugar, which again never got explained. It's just really kind of mentioned and then, oh, it's there. Hell, there's a moment where we learn that Melissa McCarthy, she actually has a puppet's liver. How the fuck that happens, I don't know.
I was like, how does that work?
Yeah, and that's how she's able to actually get like high off of the sugar from puppets.
How did it send her to a diabetic coma? They said what it's supposed to do to humans, but with puppets, they just
Get
like
really
ecstasy.
high, yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, oh.
And it's never explained how she has this liver. It's never explained why this does this.
It's like just having the puppet liver makes her able to snort this stuff like a puppet.
Yeah, and
It's like, okay, why would that be the organ that affects anything? I mean, I understand when like she's mainlining the maple syrup like it's alcohol, but
I just don't get it. I just don't. There's too much of this movie that's like, why? And
yeah, I think part of the problem is that it's like with the sugar and the maple syrup, it's like oh, puppets are for kids, but this is adult puppets for adults, and it's just that may be part of what's wrong with the tonal issues. It's like are they for kiddies or for the adults? It's like Silly Rabbit tricks are for adults.
yeah, I think actually the issue with the tonal issue, or what's causing all of that, really just all has to deal with the fact, again, what is the main production company behind this? Fucking H Brothers, the same company who helped to produce
Mile 22.
Yeah, which had freaking editing issues all over the damn place, and also tonal problems as well.
Yeah, I saw their names beginning the movie. It's like, okay, these jackasses need to stop making movies.
No. But we keep giving them millions of dollars, so why not? Oh, because of that, you can tell that I think this production company really pushes that a movie's no longer an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes. Because there is obvious chunks of this movie that are cut out. There's, in fact, at the end, there's like this little sizzle reel showing behind the scenes stuff. And there's chunks that are not in the movie that they show them doing. It's like either that or they shot it specifically for the trailer, which I still don't get that idea. It's like, why?
I think some of it was them trying to kind of improvise.
Well, what I mean is like the puppet at the beach, it's, lifting stuff.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, or the one puppet that's with the lady walking across the street. That was never in the movie. It was only in the original first trailer that ever got released. And again, there's also, I think, another problem with this movie is it really would help if this had the actual your Sesame Street puppets or the actual Muppets.
Well,
or
they did
Fraggle Rock.
I say they actually did get Kevin Clash, Elmo.
Yeah, just something. I mean, what I mean is the actual puppets, because that would help to make these jokes, I think, land a little bit better. It would also help to set this world up, I think, a little bit better. Because if you had, like, Elmo and you saw, like, here's what happens to Elmo behind the scenes, he's doing drugs, that could be funny. That could be almost funny. Because of the fact that we know who Elmo is. You don't know who these puppets are. You just know they happen to have been on this show that looks like Full House, I guess.
I was like, it's supposed to be kind of... At first I thought it was supposed to be a kid's show, but then the more I'm like looking at it, I was like... And the more they're talking about it, the more I was like, okay, it's supposed to be like, just a regular sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
That... Like, I think it's supposed to be like a family sitcom. Like, it was such a big deal because... It had mostly, puppet cast, except for Elizabeth Banks' character, Jenny.
Yeah, and it's like, why? Why do I care? What is this world? Why are there puppets?
Yeah, I think it would have worked better if it was a kid show.
Yeah, if they would have had that, especially as a kid show, or again, if they just would have got the rights to Sesame Street. Like, if you saw Big Bird and he was sitting there hanging out, suck your dick for like, it's still juvenile, it's still stupid, but it's Big Bird saying it. It's a little funnier to us as adults. Having Schmo that we don't know who Schmo is saying it doesn't carry that impact. I think that's where it loses all of its punch. It's like, oh, it's puppets, but who cares? They're just random puppets y'all created simply for this movie. It's like anything. Have the Swedish Chef. Like at one point they had this doctor character appear. It would have been so much funnier if it was the doctor from the Muppets. The kind of crazy guy. Or if it was Beaker. That would have been hilarious, actually, if it was Beaker. It's like, that would have been like, okay, I'm going to laugh my ass off now. Like, one of the first real YouTube videos I remember really laughing a lot at was one, it was a guy who was doing a really good Kermit impersonation, who was doing Kermit watching Two Girls, One Cup. It's juvenile, and it ends with Kermit jerking off. It's so funny to me, though, because it's Kermit doing it. If, let's say, the villain is, gonna spoil it for y'all, it's a puppet. Because her dad got shot by the main guy. Thanks.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks fakes her death, which you can see coming a mile away.
And it turns out that she's sleeping with this one puppet who is a sex puppet?
It's a sex maniac.
Yeah, and because
She's a sexual Ima, as in, I'm gonna be next to it, I'm gonna fuck it.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks,
despite my
guys.
bookish appearance, I'm a sexual Ima. I was like, okay.
In short, she's a slut. She sleeps with anything that she can to
Yeah,
get
she
forward.
seduces Phil. As you can kind of see in the trailers, like, oh, he's servicing a client.
Yeah, she's the one that he's having sex with.
Yeah, and then there's like she's also turns out married to Elizabeth Banks. Like, how the fuck does that work? I mean, if they're
Yeah.
treated as second-class citizens, you think, like, okay, that would not be legally recognized, and therefore she would not be entitled to the money that Jenny was going to receive from all the murders.
Yeah. And no, we just get this weird shit, and none of it's explained. Again, no explanation.
It's just randomly thrown in. I think trying to parody other movies.
And not doing a good job of it.
Yeah, like trying to like, oh, let's throw in a dash of this. Let's put in some of this. Put in like, oh, let's just go and throw all that all in there and just mix up in this big stew pot and it just does not work.
But imagine though if that character was Miss Piggy.
I think that's probably what they were going for.
Yeah, if they would have had it as Miss Piggy, it would have been funny. Or especially if it's still with the very Miss Piggy, very, I'm gonna get you. I don't know how Miss Piggy talks that time. Kirby. She's more like a guy kind of. It's Frank Oz, crying out loud.
Oh, Kirby.
You're thinking of Muppet Babies, Miss Piggy.
No, I'm thinking of, like, Muppets Take Manhattan.
Oh, Kirby. It's very lower pitched. Because Frank Oz is not very high pitched.
So very few guys are.
Mm-hmm. I almost just step on their nuts really hard.
I can be rainy sometimes, for some of y'all.
Okay.
I'm not saying you, specifically. I'm just saying for some guys who deserve it.
But yeah, I think they meant for this to have the original Muppets, Sesame Street, all those different kind of characters.
I'll say it was produced, I want to say directed by Brian Henson. Like, can you not get some of your father's properties?
They're owned by Disney. And that's the thing. If you cannot do it because you don't have rights to it, or they will not allow you to, don't fucking make it. That's all we gotta say. It's like, if you cannot do it because you don't have the rights to the properties, don't bother. It's sort of like part of the issues that people are talking about with Venom. It's that, well, why are you bothering with this if you really can't use Spider-Man? You're not gonna use Spider-Man because he's a classic Spider-Man villain. I don't seem to get that as well, but we'll see the final product. I'm holding out hope, especially since the trailer finally got decent.
I'll say it looks badass.
Yeah, well, now it's not gonna be rated R because Sony's being pussies now. They're like, oh, we're gonna make a PG-13 and make it more applicable to everybody. It's like, if you made it rated R, it would actually be decent because Venom is a killer.
Yeah, like there's some things like, okay, we don't need to go ahead and it's like, oh, let's go ahead and make it rated R, yeah, man.
Like hard R.
Like, yeah, like Mile 22.
Yeah.
But then there's some stuff that's like, it does not need to be neutered. It's like, let it be.
Yeah, like imagine a PG-13 Deadpool. Like I said, I don't want to live in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and one other thing I'm going to touch upon real quick. This is just the film guy and me talking about this. This movie is technically inept. There is some shitty puppet work being done. And not just like, oh, you can see the wires. And I don't give a shit about that. But like their mouths don't always seem to move with their words right. Either they decided to change the lines so what they originally were mouthing was not what they were originally saying. Or what originally went with it. There's also whole moments where just the sound quality sucks ass. There's whole moments in film, I'm like, what are you saying?
Well, to be fair, he's supposed to be like a mumbly, noir
detective.
Private eye.
Yeah, just
like kind of along the lines of
think like a gruff Nick Nolte from 48 Hours.
I was thinking more along the lines of Casablanca, the Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart.
I was trying to think of the damn dude's name. I was like, okay, what the fuck?
Well, I was trying to go a little bit more modern.
I'm going like classic noir, because that's what I think of when I think of noir, like 40s.
Well, see, 48 Hours still holds one of my favorite lines of all time. It's just one of the most... Thanks. the main bad guy, Nick Nolte's sitting there. He's looking at him. It's in the rain. He's already been shot. He's hurt. He's just bleeding, and he just shoots. He shoots a guy, and like right here, he goes, "Ah, I've been shot. Thanks, sir." And then for some reason, the guy decides to charge at him with a full clip. His gun is full, and just decides to charge at him, and Colt just shoots him. It's like, what the hell did you think was going to happen there, sir? Oh, is there any more you want to say about Happytime Murders besides our score?
I think I can sum up our scores with a hearty.
No, I think I can sum it up this way. 1 and 1 for both of us.
Too bad we just can't get negative ratings.
Nah, we gotta get some rating.
Yeah, so
Yeah, this
1.
Yeah, it's...
Even then, because it can't be a 0.
Yeah, don't see this. It's not even... I wouldn't even say it's worth seeing because, like, oh, you're really into bad movies. Because this is just gonna... This is not even a good bad movie. It's not like a Batman Robin or Battlefield Earth, even. Hell, Sausage Party, I can understand people not liking, but I would say that's even a good bad movie if you are into that kind of stuff. This is not. This just insults your intelligence, is gonna bore you to tears, and the best thing I can say about it is it's a measly hour and a half long. But even then, it feels every second of it.
Yeah, it's like, fucking Christ, thank you, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was over. I'm like, sign off on this thing. Fuck off.
And it's like, okay, like, can we go now? Just get away from this shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but hey, that is the end of Happytime Murders. We made it at least. We lived.
We need to decide what we're going to do next month.
Oh no, we still got one more week of August left. Because next week we're actually seeing a movie I'm rather looking forward to.
Well, the end of this month is going to be...
August 31st. Still August.
Calendar.
Next Friday is August 31st.
Where the fuck is your calendar?
Right there. Where's this calendar? Next week is
Just
August.
barely.
It still counts. We're still going to see it. But we might try to sneak in 2. If I can help, I would like to get 2. Because there's 2 movies actually coming out next week. Both of them actually... One looks really good. The other one looks really intriguing. If we can, I would like to try and sneak in a showing of Searching with John Cho. That looks really interesting. It might be a flaming pile of garbage, but it could be an interesting flaming pile of garbage. And then we're going to see the movie. I'm like, ooh. And that, of course, is Ken. I'm looking forward to Ken a lot. I don't know why. It seems to be ticking on myself. It's like, ooh, looks like an 80s film. Has multiple characters that seem to have problems. And aliens. Ooh, my. Oh, Jumbie. I don't know why. It's just, the movie looks like it's going to be interesting. I'm probably going to love the shit out of Megan's probably it's okay. I'll be like, oh my god, I jizzed my pants twice.
He's like, it's everything I ever wanted in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a modern day movie.
Yeah, it's like, it's just a smorgasbord of 80s. Wow, I got that word out, really. So, fuck Happytime Murders. Go take a shit and then rub it on your own face. It's a better time. Is it you?
I was like, you saying fuck Happytime Murders? It's like, ew, wishes.
Yeah, wishes that we were that desperate.
Yeah.
So, hey, next time, hopefully, maybe we'll be searching for Ken. The puns were there. I had to go with them.
Y'all see what I had to put up with? The so-called pun master over here.
You know you love it.
Mm.
So, hey, we'll see y'all next week with hopefully a couple of movies. If not, at least Ken, probably. So, till then, everybody, we'll say bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.